to Bubble Paint. This is a special 1-year anniversary edition of my YouTube channel, which started at the end of November 2024. So just going to go through some of the changes that have happened over the course of the year, the things that I've learnt, and also a bit of a technical update. In the description I will list all the kind of makes and models and details so you can check out anything to your heart's content. The one thing that you don't see is this is being shot on my iPhone. So yeah, iPhone is also part of the YouTube channel, but I use it as my daily phone. So hence why I have a dedicated camera for recording my models. Although there isn't a lot of overlap with woodworking, my hobby does have some overlap. For example, these supports here that I've got holding this Neewer light, it's something that I was able to make with my woodworking shop, and because I've got 2 more lights on their way, that's what I'm making now. So I do use my woodworking equipment a little bit for the upgrades to the paint desk. And here is the completed product, basically shelves holding the lights. I've got one additional one there with the light ordered and on the way. So there'll end up being 3, which will give lights to my paint bottles. But these shelves are going. Here you can see the start of printing out a new shelf. One of the main challenges with my current setup with the paint desk and the paint bottles and the shelving that I've used for a long time is that there's a very small thoroughfare between my car and the paint desk and the garage. It's just due to space requirements. It's the way it's kind of set up. And every time we do our grocery shop, for example, and we come home, we've got our shopping bags and we're walking through this narrow area, and it's not hard to bump the desk. Now, this desk and the shelving system that I have works well enough when everything's just kind of sitting there. But if this gets knocked, unfortunately the paint bottles tend to go everywhere or just do this lean sort of thing. So it's not an ideal situation, and sometimes it just really annoys the heck out of me. So for the 1-year anniversary of this YouTube channel, and also just for my own sanity as well, I've decided to upgrade the shelving system that I have been using. And what I have designed myself in Blender is this system that is able to take shapes, and the bottles basically just sit inside their individual little holder. I worked out all the dimensions, did all that kind of good fun product testing and prototyping. Just gripping the bottles low enough so that you can still read the labels as to what the individual paints actually are, so you don't have to remove them to see the name. And the idea of the shelving is that they get progressively thicker as you get from the bottom, from the top to the bottom. So it'll come out at a slight angle, but that means that the paint bottle's behind it. Very similar to what I've got now, where there's a bottle behind a bottle, but it's raised up so you can grab its cap, I guess you'd say. So yeah, so obviously the proof will be in the pudding once we put it all together. And so these shelves will be removed, and the things behind it, the backing will stay the same, and these have little screw holes. The top units, the smaller, thinner ones, just have 2 at the bottom and 1 at the top. The thicker ones, which come out further from the base at the bottom, they've got 2 at the top. So 2 bottom, 2 top. So just to give them a little bit more strength to because they're kind of cantilevered forward. But anyway, so we'll put it all together over the next week or two. I've also, been working on upgrading the lighting, because what I had before was LED strips that I had adhered underneath these shelves and then kind of zigzagged down the shelves. Well, of course, these shelves are going to go, and there's not going to be the space for the LED strips. So because of that, and I still need to see what paint bottles are there, and it adds light to the desk itself. So what I've decided to do is add LED lights, these Neewer lights that don't give flicker to when I'm recording. They work really, really well. In this kind of space that you can see that there is now, I actually had a fluoro light there, but I could never turn it on when I was recording because it just made my videos look crazy with the flickering. Another thing is that it didn't even always need bumping the desk with like the groceries or whatever. Even just trying to grab a bottle could like knock over another bottle or in the front, or they all kind of moved around. So it was just something that drove me absolutely nuts. So hopefully this new system, once it's all done, it's obviously designed to hold the bottle fairly tight, but not so tight that it's hard to get them in and out. Once again, I did a fair bit of prototyping on size. Thankfully, the Vallejo and AK bottles that I use, even though the caps look different, well, actually, even though the bottles themselves, like that's round and this is more straight on the AK, but the actual dimensions of them are pretty much identical. So, that was a godsend, because if I had to design something, well, I guess I would have just had to go for the bigger bottle, make the bigger bottle a little bit tighter and the other a little bit more snug. But anyway, thankfully that wasn't the case. So once they're all printed out, which is going to take about a week, unfortunately, it's about a day per shelf. And I'm replacing the side shelving as well for obvious reasons. So these shelves, the top ones, this one has all my primers and glues. This one has all my tools. So those shelves are staying, not touching the Montmartre bottles. Although I recently did remove a layer down the bottom, just gave a bit more clearance. So, but yeah, those shelves are not changing. It's just all these shelves which hold my paints are going to be upgraded as part of the 1-year anniversary of the channel. So the very first version of recording YouTube videos was done on a laptop that I had next to me on this little shelf that I made. Do not regret making the shelf at all and attaching to the desk, because it's actually turned out to be really, really handy. But I had webcams, several webcams connected. In fact, one of the arms that I have here now holding my Sony camera, that was actually attached over here near my paint pot, my water paint pot where I clean my brushes. And then I had one at the back kind of looking forward to me, and one attached up on this shelf looking down. So yeah, that was the very first version of the channel. The second version was basically where I had a head cam and attached that to a bicycle helmet, because I wanted to try and get a little bit more immersive videos, but there were several technical issues with that. One was I couldn't really control the zoom, and the second is that my head is not stable. So yeah, that was obviously a big issue. Now the third version, I guess, of the YouTube channel experience is with this Sony A250. I've got it connected to a Neewer tripod mount, which is then further connected to this like articulated arm, so that I have it on a slight angle forward. rather than just straight down, so that it doesn't, you know, shoot my belly and the end of the desk here. Like, so rather than having that kind of shot, it gives you more going forward experience. And I've got these little L-shaped guides which I've made for myself, so when I zoom in for a smaller model or zoom out for a bigger model, I've got a reference as to where things are going. Connected up to that, there is a cooling fan which keeps this running cool. But I don't need to use that so much now because I got what they call a dummy battery. I don't have the battery in here, and it turned out that the battery was actually the main part that made the camera overheat. So yeah, so that's eliminated a lot of the issues. Then connected on this side, this cord goes through to this microphone, shotgun microphone, I believe they call it. So that completes the video recording part of it. The only real negative that I've got with the Sony camera is I do need to be very, very careful when I remove the SD card. In the side there is a slot with the SD card, and I have already once taken the SD card out, and it's ejected it so strong because it's a really heavy spring inside it, obviously, that it's come down and gone plop right into my paint cleaning pot there. Thankfully, SD cards, it turns out you can immerse them in water, although this is really dirty water most of the time, so I certainly wouldn't recommend that. And I have no idea why the SD card needs to have such a powerful spring on it. It's really strong. But yeah, anyway, that's, like I say, the only negative. And I have a little viewfinder here, so I can turn this on quickly. You can see that I can angle that as well a little bit, and I can just kind of check when I'm moving these L shapes, so like when I'm setting things up, making sure I get in the corner. So that's basically the way that that's been working. As far as the lighting is concerned, there's this company called Neewer, N-W-E-W-E-R, and all my lights are designed so that they're flicker free. Because if, for example, I turn around here and take a photo of that fluoro tube, I'll stop doing that because it's probably really annoying to watch. You'll understand why I need these types of lights, because yeah, they remove or don't have all of that flicker. I think it's like they're on a DC current, so therefore, yeah, anyway, long story short, it works. This one that I have is on a tripod system, so I can move it around easily enough. So, you know, if I'm working on the paint booth, photo booth I should say, if I'm working on the photo booth, I can turn it around if I want some additional light. Also, I have the iPhone put on that little stand. This is where I just started recording the video. So if I'm recording on that, sometimes I'll move this light around a bit further to be facing me. So it just gives it a little bit of light from the other side. So that's pretty much the update. I mean, yeah, obviously the update of the paint bottle shelving has been the large project of late, taken a lot of time to do. But yeah, moving from the webcams to the head cam to now this this Sony camera, hopefully has just given a much more immersive experience to people watching my YouTube channel. And yeah, just gives me a lot more control on the final output. Like also resolution as well. I do it in 4K now and all of that. So yeah, it's just been a gradual increase over the 1 year. So one of the benefits of having my studio in a garage is there's a fair amount of storage space. So on the left hand side, there's a couple of models that have been printed out which I haven't had a chance to get to yet. And then up the top there, I keep all my boxes of like the camera and lenses, and the one called Video Bits has some tripods and stuff like that, some joints for video equipment. So that's on the left hand side. Then in the middle there is where I store all my PLA reels, and this is like a toolbox which has my Allen keys and wire brushes, stuff like that. Then oil, and that box has like custom bamboo parts inside it, just in case I ever need to replace stuff. Then on the right hand side is kind of like the holding of shame. So we've got a dehumidifier for PLA reels. Here in Queensland, I find it's so dry most of the time, I've never really needed to use it. But it's there in case I ever do, you know, get like a really humid day and I want to use it, that's fine. And then up the top there, I've got the AMS light, which, yeah, what can I say? It wasn't a great purchase. It didn't really work out for me. So hence why it's on the side of shame. So here I've ripped the old shelving out, removed all the paint bottles, which are all set over here, ready to go into their new home. Most of the shelving is printed, just working on the last bottom level now, and once that's all done I can start the assembly. And this is the finished product, the paint holders, all individually wrapping their paint bottles inside. So you can see it's just a series of holes and each is held nicely, so I can grab each in front of the other without knocking over any bottles, and if the desk gets knocked, well, there's not going to be any problem. So yeah, a little bit of room for expansion, a few extra holes, but for the most part, just very happy with how it all worked out, although it did take nearly 2 weeks to print all the shelving, so significant amount of time, but well worth it and a very good upgrade. Okay, I'd just like to finish by thanking everyone that has been watching my videos throughout the year. And obviously a big thank you to everyone that likes the video and subscribes to my channel. I'm still a very small and growing channel as an amateur painter. I'm just basically doing what I love. I mean, I love this hobby and would be printing and painting these models regardless, but yeah, it's been really encouraging to get positive feedback for the channel, and I'm very grateful for all my subscribers and everyone who watches my videos. So thank you very much.